My name is Zaid.
And I welcome you warmly to this journey of knowledge.
I hope all of you,
Our respected viewers,
are safe, well,
and surrounded by positivity today. Let us step together into the layers of time to explore something extraordinary. Göbekli Tepe. Many people know it as an ancient archaeological site in modern-day Turkey, but very few understand
how deeply mysterious
and groundbreaking it is. Göbekli Tepe is often called the world's first temple, a place of gathering, worship and symbolism that existed long before the pyramids of Egypt, or even Stonehenge. When archaeologists first uncovered it in the 1990s, they were shocked because the site dates back to around 9600 BC. That means it is over 11,000 years old. At that time, humanity was thought to be a society of simple hunters and gatherers, living in small groups, moving from place to place. Yet here, on the hills of southeastern Anatolia, we find massive stone pillars arranged in circles with carvings of animals, abstract shapes, and powerful symbols. The stones weigh tons,
and some stand up to 20 feet tall. They are not random.
They are carefully aligned. They show vision, planning, and collective effort. This discovery forces historians to rethink the story of civilization. Instead of farming leading to temples, perhaps shared belief systems, rituals, and sacred spaces pushed humans to organize, and later, agriculture followed. Göbekli Tepe was not a city. People did not live permanently there. Instead, it was a sacred ground, visited for ceremonies, social gatherings, and perhaps astronomical observations. The carvings are especially fascinating. Lions, vultures, snakes, wild boars, foxes, and abstract human-like forms decorate the stones. They may represent myths, cosmic beliefs, or even early storytelling traditions. The people of Göbekli Tepe did not use writing, yet they communicated through stone carvings that carried meaning across generations.
And what's even more intriguing,
After centuries of use, the site was deliberately buried, yes, buried under tons of soil,
as if those who built it
wanted to protect it or close a sacred chapter. This act preserved it for thousands of years, waiting to be rediscovered in our modern age. Before we move to our today, I want to say that this channel is user-friendly.
no offensive content, no misinformation.
We explain things with respect, curiosity, and authenticity. As we continue, let us dive deeper into the mystery of Göbekli Tepe. Imagine this clearly. Over 11,000 years ago, communities without metal tools, without wheels, without written language, they came together to carve and raise enormous limestone pillars. How could such a task be achieved by hunter-gatherers? This is a question that puzzles archaeologists even today. One possibility is unity. The people of that age were not isolated individuals. They gathered in large groups, possibly during seasonal migrations,
And worked together
through shared rituals and beliefs. By using stone tools,
fire, rope,
and sheer human coordination, they managed to shape and transport massive blocks. The level of planning was far beyond survival. It shows imagination, organization, and leadership. The site is not only a temple, it is also a memory bank, a carved story of early humanity. The animals depicted on the pillars were not random decorations. Each carving had meaning. Some animals represented danger. Others may have symbolized power, fertility, or protection. A famous pillar, called the Vulture Stone, has carvings that many scholars believe could represent astronomical events, possibly even a record
of a comet strike
that influenced climate and culture. This connects Göbekli Tepe to an even larger story, the end of the Ice Age. Around the same period, the Younger Dryas climate shift occurred when Earth suddenly cooled. It is possible that Göbekli Tepe's builders witnessed dramatic environmental changes, and in response, They created sacred spaces to honor forces of nature they could not control.
Another interesting detail:
there are no signs of farming here, at least in the earliest layers, yet nearby sites show that agriculture developed soon after. Some scholars suggest that shared rituals at Göbekli Tepe inspired people to settle nearby, to feed larger groups, and eventually to develop farming and herding. If this is true, Göbekli Tepe was not just a temple. It may have been the spark that ignited the chain of events leading to civilization itself. This makes the site
not only ancient,
but foundational to the human story.
it is a reminder
That faith, imagination, and collective belief can drive human progress just as much as survival needs. Now let us explore what archaeologists uncovered when they carefully excavated the hidden layers of Göbekli Tepe. So far,
only a small portion of the site has been revealed,
experts estimate that less than 10%.
has been fully excavated
This means we are only scratching the surface.
of its secrets.
What has been found?
Already challenges our understanding.
The site contains multiple enclosures, each shaped in circles or ovals, with two central pillars towering above the rest. These central stones often have carvings of human-like arms and hands, suggesting that the pillars themselves were meant to represent beings, perhaps gods, ancestors, or spiritual guardians. Surrounding these larger stones are smaller decorated pillars. Together they form a symbolic circle of power. The engineering is astonishing. Some of the pillars weigh more than 15 tons, yet they were transported from nearby quarries without the help of carts, wheels, or animals of burden. This was pure human determination, combined with intelligence and advanced planning.
Even more fascinating,
The site was built in stages. Over centuries, new enclosures were added, older ones were buried, and new layers rose above them. This tells us that Göbekli Tepe was not a single project, but a tradition sustained across generations. Each layer reveals different artistic styles. The oldest layers
are the most advanced.
with giant T-shaped pillars and detailed carvings. The later layers are smaller and simpler,
As if the builders
were losing resources or passing through a cultural transformation.
Why did this happen?
One theory is that the rise of farming nearby shifted focus. Communities began settling, and their energy turned towards survival and growth. The grand era of temple building slowly came to an end, but before disappearing, the builders made one final choice: to bury Göbekli Tepe. They covered the enclosures with layers of earth and debris. This act preserved it like a time capsule. When rediscovered in our age, it stood as a doorway into the deep human past. The carvings themselves continue to puzzle researchers. Some scholars see them as myth. Some see them as astronomy. Some even believe they recorded events such as eclipses, comets, or seasonal changes. Yet one thing is clear: these carvings were not made for beauty alone. They carried meaning, perhaps even messages, meant for future generations. Göbekli Tepe reminds us that humanity, even in its earliest days, was driven by wonder, belief, and the desire to connect with something greater than itself.
As we come closer,
To understanding Göbekli Tepe, its true significance becomes clearer. This site is not only the oldest known temple, it is a message across time. It shows us that long before cities, long before kingdoms, long before writing, human beings were capable of organizing, building, and creating sacred meaning through cooperation. Göbekli Tepe shifts the question.
of human history.
Instead of asking, when did farming begin? We must now ask, when did belief systems begin to shape our lives? The site also changes
How we view art.
These carvings were not decorations. They were storytelling tools, cosmic markers, and guardians of memory. The presence of vultures, snakes, wild boars, and abstract symbols may reflect myths about life, death,
and the afterlife.
Some researchers even connect them to shamanic traditions, rituals where humans
sought to connect
with unseen worlds.
Even today,
Göbekli Tepe inspires curiosity. UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site in 2018 to protect and preserve it
for generations to come.
Tourists visit it in Turkey, not only to see ancient stones, but to feel the weight of history that still vibrates in the silence of its circles. Its builders may be forgotten, but their vision lives on. They remind us that humanity has always searched for purpose, for connection,
and for stories larger than survival.
In many ways, Göbekli Tepe is not the end, but the beginning, the earliest visible sign
of the human journey
towards culture, civilization, and shared imagination. All the information we provide comes from verified historical sources, including books, records,
and archaeology.
Sources include Schmidt, Klaus, Göbekli Tepe, a Stone Age sanctuary in southeastern Anatolia, 2006. Dietrich, Oliver, et al. The Tepe Telegrams, reports from Göbekli Tepe, German Archaeological Institute. UNESCO World Heritage Center official records on Göbekli Tepe. National Geographic Archaeological Features, 2019-2023. Journal of Archaeological Science, various studies on Göbekli Tepe carvings and dating. Dear viewers, if you found this exploration meaningful, please like, share,
and subscribe to our channel,
Thrones of Knowledge. Do not forget to press the bell icon so you are notified on time for our next journey. And please suggest in the comments what topic you would like us to bring to life next, so together we can make our shared experience
even more inspiring.